Dear student, we are going to discuss about one more problem on block diagram reduction. So if we see, we are going to follow the same thing what we had discussed in the previous classes. Rule number 1, check for the blocks connected in series and simplify it. Rule number 2, check for the blocks connected in parallel and simplify it. First is, you are supposed to check the blocks which are in series, right? Then you simplify it. Next, check for the blocks which are connected in parallel, right? Then simplify it. Then third rule is, check for the blocks connected in feedback loop, then simplify it. Then if there is difficulty with summing point while simplifying, shift it towards left. It is very important, you can say point. So if there is a difficulty with summing point, if there is difficulty in summing point, then what you are supposed to do? While simplifying, shift it towards left. Then fifth point is, if there is difficulty with summing point while simplifying, then we had discussed about this particular. Then if there is difficulty with takeoff point while simplifying, shift it towards right. Actually, this is fifth point and this is fourth point. Fourth point, you're supposed to cross check takeoff point. Right? If there is difficulty in takeoff point, then shift it towards what? Shift it towards right. Right? Shift to right. Then one more important thing, repeat the above steps till you get the simplified form. What we are going to discuss today is a little bit complicated, you can say, block diagram reduction. So if we see, there are different blocks G1, G2, right? You can see that forward loop blocks G3, G4 and G5. These are again the forward loop blocks, whereas H1, H2, H3 are the feedback blocks. Now we'll go by the process and procedure. I will check this particular diagram, and in which I will find out, yes, G1 and G2, they are in series, whereas G3 and G4, they are in parallel. We will try to solve these two, right? If you ask me, then G1 plus into G2, this block will reduces to G1, G2, whereas this block G3 is plus, G4 is plus. If I sum it, then it will become G3 plus G4. So what we are going to see is, we are going to change this block and we will write down equivalent block. We will change this particular block and we will write down equivalent. Okay, then I will just redraw this particular block. So this G1, G2, before that, if you recollect, there is one summing point. Before that, one more, there is one summing point, right, which is RS. Then next, there was one more summing point, right? And what we had changed, G3 plus G4, whereas there was one more G5 block was there, and the output was YS. So what the diagram was like this: H3 minus, this was plus, and there was one loop, closed loop, that is H1, which was, we were taking it from here, one more loop, H2, we're taking it to this. So what happened, this is minus, this is plus, this is minus, this is. What happened to the previous block? This G1, G2 becomes G1, G2, and as they were in series, G3, G3 and G4 becomes, G3 and G4 becomes, now they were parallel, they become G3 plus G4. So we had redrawn this particular. Now the next, which is very important step you are supposed to understand, is the shifting. This point, what I will do is I will shift this particular summing point to the right. If I am shifting, then there is one block G5, so I am supposed to divide H2 by G5. So what I will do is, so in this particular case I will draw as it is the other blocks. This is G1, G2, this is one more block G3 plus G4. What I am doing is I am shifting this particular point. So what I will do is, first I will write down G5. I will shift this particular, you can say, point to right. If I shift this particular point to right, but before that what I will do is I will draw this closed loop H1, which is as it is, minus plus. Then as this point has been shifted towards right, so G5 I am supposed to divide this with the help of G5. So this block become H2 divided by G5. And what I will do is I will, so this is the next step. One more thing which is we are supposed to add, which was there in the previous block, H3 feedback. So negative and positive. I hope you people are understanding. Now next what we'll do, this is in series, we can multiply this particular, right? So as it is, this block, summation block as it is, series J1, G2, right? So this we are supposed to keep as it is, the summation block, and here H3 as it is. And in this particular block, now what you will get is G3 plus G4, right, into G5, right, and then the summing point as it is. So this was in series, therefore I had recollected it. Now this is next. This will be H2 by G5 as it is. Then there is one more control loop, right, which you are supposed to H1 negative, positive, positive, positive. I hope you are understanding this. And this is, yeah, this is YS, this is YS. Now the next thing, here is one closed loop system, here is one more closed loop system, right? We know how to deal with these closed loop system. Now what I can replace is, this is a summation, I had copy pasted from this side, positive. Now I will draw the equivalent block diagram. Now G1 and G2 for block function, feedback block function H2, 1, I will just cross check this particular sign. This is negative, I will write positive. H1 was the feedback, so G1 G2 H1. So this is a equivalence. Then next, about this particular block, the equivalence will be, this is now, this particular is the forward function and this is a feedback function. So what we will do is G3 plus G4 into G5 divided by 1. Now I am supposed to cross check the sign. It was minus, right? So if it is minus, then we will write plus here as feedback is minus. So then what you will do is G3 plus G4 G5 into H3. This is an equivalence. What will the remaining only one closed loop block is there? H2 upon G5. The input was RS and the output was YS. The output was YS. I hope you are understanding it. Now the next, these are in series. Now you can see that this block is become little bit complicated but not so difficult. G1 G2 multiply by G3 plus G4 into G5 all together divided by 1 plus G1 G2 H1 1 plus G3 G plus sorry I will write G3 plus G4. I am taking this block G5 H3, right? So this will be the equivalent block of this YS. Input is RS, feedback is plus H2 by G5. Now we have got only one control loop system, that is closed loop system. What we'll do this, we'll try to find out the equivalence of this particular. So I will draw a big block of which input is RS, output is YS. As this is a closed loop system, what we'll do is, this is a forward function G1 G2 G3 plus G4 into G5 as it is divided by 1 plus G1 G2 H1 1 plus G3 plus G4 G5 H, it was H3, right? This I had written as it is, all together divided by 1. Now here plus sign is there, therefore I will write down minus here and I will multiply both the blocks to each other. So G1 G2 G3 plus G4 into G5 all together divided by 1 plus G1 G2 H1 1 plus G2 plus G3, right? So into G3 plus, right, into G5 H3, right? Sorry, 1 minus I had written as it is into H2 upon G5. G5 get cancelled here, right? This is H3 and H2. So what output we will get in this particular case is ys upon rs is equal to, what we'll do is we will try to find out the LCM. So first this I will write as it is, g1 g2 g3 plus g4. Don't get confused, it is only, you can see, you're supposed to be focused here. It is not at all difficult, only the thing is that your concentration is needed here. I had written as it is all together. I will take the LCM of this, so I will multiply the denominator to 1. 1 plus g1 g2 h1, 1 plus g2 plus g3 g5 h3, right? Then I will close the bracket, right, multiply by, this is what I had, then LCM g1 g2 g3 plus g4, right? I had written as it is, and in this particular case I am supposed to divide entire thing, right? But before that I am supposed to multiply entire thing, not entire thing, this 1 plus g1 g2 h1, 1 plus g2 plus g3 g5 h3. So this LCM is same, so we can nullify the LCM. Only the remaining thing is now g1 g2, right, then g3 plus g4 into g5, right, then divided by 1 plus g1 g2 h1 as it is, then 1 plus g2 plus g3 as it is, multiply by g5 h3, right, into g5, right, into g5, then minus g1 g2, g5 is not there, g1 g2, then g3 plus g4, g1 g2 g3 plus g4 into h2. So this is ys upon rs. So this is the output of this particular function. So this is not so difficult. We are supposed to follow the steps. What steps we had discussed right now? First, try to understand if the, you can say in the block diagram, if there is the two blocks which are in series, first try to check whether these blocks are connected in series, then simplify it, then check whether the blocks are in parallel, simplify it, then third, check for the blocks connected in the feedback loop and simplify it, then fourth, check if there is difficulty with takeoff point while simplifying, shift it towards right, and if there is a difficulty with the summing point, simplify it, shift it towards the left, and last, repeat the procedure. So this is a solution for the complicated problem. Thank you.